And it's interesting because one of the things that I wanted to start with, which is sort of an introduction, is that I'm still working full time. Oh my gosh, I feel so blessed. But on the other hand, I know that the reason that I'm still working full time is because I work with small business owners. And I have to tell you, in my 30 years in business, I've been through 7 economic downturns, recessions, and that have been recessions, and 1 depression. And an even bigger depression was my own economic downturn through my divorce. So I have a lot of experience in times like this. The only thing is that this one came on us so quickly. Before, you've always sensed they were coming. You've known that your business is sort of starting to dry up and you're not sure why. But this one just happened overnight, which has left us all in shock. But what I do with all of my clients is I start working with them to recession proof their businesses, because 7, it's not if, it's when. And so the majority of my clients that have been with me for some time are still with me, and still, as they said, I would have had to close my doors 5 months ago. I would have had to close my doors a year ago. But because we did this, I'm able to keep going. So that's one thing to think about, is most of you have never experienced a recession. And in the last decade or two, we've been in an expansion economy where it's all been about marketing, reach the market, sell the most, sell at the highest price. And that only works in the good times. And now it's not so much. So I'm going to talk about, right now, there's 3 phases. And if we've got, at worst, we've got 8 weeks. At best, we've got 12 weeks to work on these 3 phases. But if you pay attention, and I know that some of you have family at home and young kids at home and all sorts of distractions, but you do have to spend part of your day still in business. And before I get into the 3 phases, I'm going to comment on something I've been talking about a lot this week on Facebook, and that is get up and get dressed. Now, it takes as long to pull on business clothes as it takes to pull on sweatpants and a sweatshirt. But it does 2 things. It signals to your brain that you're in business, and it signals to your family, leave me alone for the next hour, 2 hours, whatever you've deemed your business time each day to be. So that's point number 1. Now, the 3 phases. Right now, we're in what I call shock and horror, which is survival. I have to figure out, what do I need to do? What do I need to know to survive? And the first thing, of course, everybody's looking at is the money, survival, the finances. And 98% of businesses that come to me have never paid attention to their finances. They don't know how much it costs to run their businesses. They don't know how much of a paycheck their business has to pay them so that they can run their lives. So they're sort of free floating, reaching into the business like a piggy bank. And now here we are, and a lot of people aren't earning money, and the piggy bank isn't there anymore. So I'm going to suggest that right now, even if it makes you feel sick, look at your finances, figure out those costs to run your business, to run your life. Then figure out, going forward, how much you need to get a 6-month reserve in the bank over the next 12 months. So this is my baseline. And over the next 12 months, if I have to make this again, then how does that change my baseline number? So it's never too late to look at the finances. And I got to tell you that usually your gut makes it either worse than or as bad as it is. So in fact, you sort of know. So that's the survival phase. But quickly, we've got to go into recovery phase. And recovery phase is the blessing. I cannot believe we've all been gifted with this time to do those things that we should have done for our businesses all along, but we might have put off because we didn't feel comfortable, we didn't know how to, or there were things we had to learn and we didn't have time. So in recovery, it's all those processes that you meant to put in place. You never found the time to do them. And they're actually the things that you've been avoiding are the things that will sink a business even in good times. So yeah, you might have that horrible gut feel, and in that case, go and see Darpan or any one of the previous panel. They'll help you get over the gut feel, but you've got to face the stuff you don't like or you don't know. And I always work on, figuring out what you have to learn. So if you have to learn, there's never been a better time. Online courses are cheaper than they've ever been. Online education, there's so much going on. This is the time to take advantage of everything you need to learn. Now, there's also a part where you actually sort of really know how to do something, but you have never developed the skill to do it. And what I do with myself and my clients is I set us 30, 60, and 90-day challenges. So it might be something that you hate doing, like videos, like podcasting. It might be something like reaching out and touching people, which we will translate into sales calls. Right now, it can just be getting used to calling people and saying, how are you? Figure out what apps you need to start working with. So if you need HubSpot for a CRM, that's free. There's a Canva Pro for businesses. That's a very, very small charge. You get a month free trial, so you can even take it for a test drive right now. Figure out what you have to learn. Do every single day the things that make you uncomfortable until you don't even think about them. And then the third, think about habits that you need to start right now, because with my clients, we all have time blocking. We block so many days a week to work on our businesses, no matter what else is going on. So many days for professional development. That means learning. So many days, so many hours for billable. That can mean with clients or on the floor. And finally, the path forward is what you're going to be selling in the future. So get off the marketing button, please, until you figure out how to optimize your products and services for this market. Rethink your lowest market. Your market is going to split into two pieces. The businesses that are so big that they're not hurting, or they're hurting a bit, but they can still pay you. And the small businesses where you may have to offer lower priced, in group, in bulk, passive forms of revenue, products or services. So take a look at that. Once you start implementing good business practices in the path forward that are going to stay with you, you're going to come out of the gate ahead of anyone else. And believe me, everyone else is going to come out looking for your market. So if you take this time now to be prepared for when the cork comes out of that bottle, you're going to be one of the front runners. Okay? This isn't a time to check out. It's not a time to sit on the couch. It's a time to renew your business, to revisit your business and prepare for this new economy. Because quite frankly, it's not business as usual. It's business unusual. And I want to see all of you there. Now, I mentioned finances. I have a spreadsheet free of charge. Just get hold of me and say, Angela, can you send me your spreadsheet? And it's going to guide you through what you need personally, that's your paycheck, and what your business needs to make when it's open and running to keep the doors open. So don't hesitate to let me know. If you want it, it's yours free. Thanks so much for this opportunity.